Hello Twin Flames, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for liking, subscribing, for sharing and obviously for all the beautiful comments. It means the world when you comment on my videos, so thank you. I'm so excited today because I've got 3 brand new decks of cards coming. Wow, and one of them's a sexy deck. So I'll be able to tune into the way the masculines are really feeling about the feminines. So I'm really super excited to get that deck. And as soon as it comes, I will be doing that reading. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be today. And I'd never thought I'd be talking about this today. Blocked, ghosted or ignored by your twin flame. Wow, well it's something we all go through at some stage in this journey, and I know that better than anybody because I've been through it all, and that's why I can really talk about it with you and tell you the truth and tell you what the angels say about it, and that's why I'm doing this video today. Now, they shoved all this information into me as soon as I woke up, and I thought, is this the right video to do today? And then they give me another sign. What did they do? They shut down my Wi-Fi. At the moment, while I'm recording this video, I've got no internet connection. And the angels have just done it on purpose to say, you need to do this video. And I know full well that as soon as I've done it, the internet will come back on because the angels are telling me that. So this is the way they get their point across and they tell you these amazing things. So have you been blocked? Have you been ghosted? Have you been ignored by your divine masculine? By your amazing beloved, the one and only, the one that you've got the most amazing connection with? And oh, does it hurt? Oh, it hurts. It's the most painful thing in the world. Why? Because you feel you're out of control. Just like this morning, I put the Wi-Fi on, nothing happened. Couldn't even detect anything. There's nothing there. No connection. It feels like you've lost that connection when you get blocked, ghosted or ignored by your twin flame. And I'm going to really talk about it right now, about why it happens and what you can do when it does happen. Because if you haven't yet been blocked, ghosted or ignored by your twin flame, then, you're obviously in a good place with your twin right now. But, it's kind of inevitable that it will happen because the divine masculines can't cope, and that's their defense mechanism, that's their coping mechanism, that's what they do. And I know it seems daft and immature, but the divine masculines would rather block you or ignore you or ghost you than face their feelings, because when they face the feelings, they have to face the fears, and the fears are what is triggering everything anyway. So when your masculine blocks you, when they block you, first of all, it's because they think that that's the best way to deal with things. It doesn't mean they hate you. It just means that they think, in their warped interpretation of what's going on, that their life will be easier without you there. That they will be able to handle things better without you there. Now, the exact opposite happens because the masculines can't survive without the light of the feminines, but they are then thrust into darkness and they learn that lesson. And it usually starts by they'll ignore your messages because they can't deal with what you're saying, or, sometimes the feminines, they become a little bit masculine in the way that they are dealing with things, trying to take control, trying to wake the masculines up, trying to make the masculines understand things that they aren't yet ready to understand. And they become very overwhelmed, and, the masculines can't deal. So usually they start ignoring you, and that's just the best way for them to deal with it. And then eventually when things get too much, they just block you completely and ghost you. And when it happens for the feminines, it's devastating. It's devastating. You feel like your world is collapsing. The first time it happened to me, it was the worst pain I'd ever encountered in my life. And I've been through severe deaths in the family, losing lovers, losing relationships, all kinds of things that I've been strong about and dealt with, and this was the worst pain. I felt like I was the Ten of Swords. I felt like there was swords stabbed in me. I was on the floor. I didn't know I was going to cope with it. I remember sitting in a coffee shop, and I just felt this immense darkness come over me, and it was, I don't how I didn't cry, I don't know, I was tearing up, and it was just the worst feeling in the world. And when we get blocked, it's very, very painful. But what it does, it gives us the opportunity to go within and to find our inner light. And this is why when these things happen, if you're blocked right now by your twin flame, or you're being ignored or ghosted, it really is important that you get that connection up with source energy, with higher power, with universe, with the creator, with the angels, because that's the only thing that will pull you out of the funk that you get yourself into. Because when you get blocked, especially the first time, it gets easier as it goes on. And I know that sounds crazy, but the second time that I got blocked, it didn't hurt as bad. It still ripped me apart, but it didn't hurt as bad. And then, when you get ignored, it kind of lessens the pain, because you realise that your connection is connected with source energy, and that's where you get your power from, that's where you get your happiness from, and that's where you get the ability to deal with anything that's thrown at you from your masculine. So when you get blocked, and some of the masculines get blocked as well by the feminines. So, if you're blocked right now, then the first thing you need to do is tune into the heaven. Ask the angels for guidance to pull you out of the state that you're in, because you'll feel out of control. And your ego will go in overdrive. You'll start doing crazy things. You'll start, stalking them. Or, you'll start trying to get your friends contact them on your behalf, or you'll do anything. You'll contact them any way you can. And if you can't, then you just go crazy. You start thinking crazy things, and, you're going to get on a plane and go see that person. You're going to track them down. You're going to do all this stuff. And it's irrational fear, because in the real truth, in the real spiritual truth, this connection cannot be broken. Okay, and I just want to say, obviously I'm recording this on my phone, and as I said, and this is the truth, as I said, connection broken, it's just come up on my phone, Wi-Fi found. So I'm shaking, with the power of this message that I'm giving you today, because, you need to realise that when you feel out of control, when your masculine puts you into a state of fear, and feeling out of control, it's the perfect time for you to find source energy, for you to find your connection with the divine. And the divine will pick you up and take complete care of you and wrap you up in these beautiful feelings of love. And you'll know that you'll survive another day. And it'll be hard. It'll be very, very painful. But ultimately it makes you stronger. And when you're blocked, ghosted or ignored by your twin flame, then it gives you the opportunity to go within, to do self-healing work, to work on your journey, to find out what your purpose is in this relationship, in this dynamic, in this journey, to find out what your goals and intentions and dreams are, to really find out who you are, to start pouring your light out into the world. And that's what it's all about. That's why. And the masculines have to go into the dark place. They find all kinds of things to distract themselves from you. They'll find other people with karmic partners. They'll find distractions with jobs and friendships and all kinds of strange things the masculines will do. But their life will never be as powerful and as bright as when they're in contact with the feminines. And that's the absolute truth. Things won't go right for the masculines. Things will just, they'll fall on the face a lot of the time. And they'll realise eventually that you are the light. And that's when communication comes back in. That's when communication is restored. And it doesn't matter how many times you get blocked, ghosted or ignored by your twin flame. The divine will open up the lines of communication at the right time, in the right way, for the right reasons. So please take a deep breath right now. Can you hear that dog barking? They're telling me that you go crazy. It makes you go crazy. You act like a crazy person when you're ignored, because you feel worthless. You feel like, What am I doing wrong? Why can't you talk to me? You know, you feel worthless. It makes you feel a shadow of who you are. And that's why you have to go within and find your light to know that you are valuable. You are valuable. You are unique. You are a snowflake within all the flakes that fall down from heaven. You know, you are amazing. You are unique and different and special. And you have to find your inner worth and your self-worth in the pit of despair. And that's why they go through this back and forth motion. It's back and forth, you know, and ultimately it doesn't really matter what the masculines are doing it for or why they're doing it. It's about the journey of the feminine, that the feminine should go within and find that connection with source energy. And if you're being blocked right now and ghosted and ignored, you've got to find inner peace within that situation. And trust me, eventually you will. And when you find that inner peace and that place of sanctuary, then you start to work on yourself and you start feeling, wow, I am powerful and valuable and worth it. And then you start doing the inner work, and then you get to a place where you're actually okay with the way things are. And that's the moment that the divine opens back up the lines of communication. That's the way it is. So if you've been in separation for a long, long time, but you're in bitter energy, if you're in pain energy and suffering, and you're blaming your twin, and you're blaming the karmic partner, and you're blaming love spells and all kinds of dark energy, you have to get to a place of peace where you realise that everything that happens on this journey is a mirror, and you've been asked right now from heaven to take that time to go within, to find yourself, because, you know, most of the time when we get blocked on this journey, we're too involved in the other person, we're too invested in the other person, we're floating on air, we're concentrating and focusing all that precious, amazing energy into the masculine or into your twin. And really, it's not about doing that. It's about channeling that energy into yourself so that you can work on you and your spiritual goals and paths. And you always find that when you do this inner healing work, you will find your purpose. You will be opened up to your psychic side. Your intuition and your gifts and talents will get stronger. You'll become more creative. You'll put effort into things that make your heart sing. For a lot of time, you know, before my twin blocked me, I was putting all my energy, everything inside me, all this beautiful energy that you guys have told me you can feel coming through the screen towards you, that I'm sending you right now. All that energy I was giving to my twin, and he was building the world for himself, you know. But I was drained, and I wasn't feeding me, and I wasn't looking after me. And I know that now I look back and I think it happened for the right reason, because I needed to replenish me. And that's what will be happening with you right now. So if you're in severe separation, if you're being ignored, don't feel worthless, because you are an anomaly in the millions, the sea of millions of people. You are the one light in the darkness. And the reason they're blocking you and the reason they're ignoring you and ghosting you is because they can't handle the light that you bring out of them. They can't handle the things that they have to deal with inside themselves. They have to really look inside themselves and face all the horrible things inside them that need healing. Everything that has been brought up to the surface, including, you just closed my throat chakra there, communication things. They have to communicate with themselves first. So if you're being blocked, ignored or ghosted right now, as hard and painful as it is, you really have to get to a place of peace and see it as a blessing in disguise. And, you know, I don't want to make it a long video, but I'm going to call on Archangel Michael, because Archangel Michael is the angel that oversees when these things happen. Because, you know, when you're blocked feminines and you go into this horrendous pain energy and this feeling out of control, there's only one thing that can pick you up, and that's the power of the angels, and it's the power and the strength of Archangel Michael. He will give you the motivation to get back up on the floor. He'll say, stay strong, warrior. Stand strong, warrior of light. You are powerful. You are strong. You are a beacon of light. You are a warrior of light. Stand up strong, powerful warrior. And that's what's coming through. And he will give you the strength. And I know you can feel it when I'm talking about him. You'll feel him surrounding you. His energy is that powerful and strong because he's like Thor. Okay, he's like the Thor of heaven. He will pick you back up when you're on your knees and he will turn you around. Okay, he will turn you around, and that's the power of Archangel Michael. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for being with me and everybody watching. What guidance, please, can you give the twin flames who've been blocked, ghosted or ignored? Either now, that's what they're going through now, or in the past. What can you tell them, please, Archangel Michael? What would you like them to know? What would you like them to know when they are being blocked, ghosted or ignored by their twin flame? What would you like them to know, please? Okay, let's have a look then. Wow, look at this. Beautiful. Forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. How powerful is that one to come through? And that's the absolute truth. It's not your fault. It's not your fault when they block, ignore or ghost you. It's something they are dealing with. It's their issues. So you can forgive yourself straight away because it isn't what you've done wrong. And that was what I did for a long time. I was thinking, I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I hadn't said that. I wish I hadn't acted in that way. And I was going crazy thinking about it. And the angel said, Liz, you need to calm down right now. You need to forgive yourself. You need to know that it doesn't matter because they were going to block you anyway to deal with their own shit. So forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. How amazing is that? Your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. So you can trust in the guidance coming through from your angels and especially from your guardian angel right now. And you know, you're not crazy, you're not going mad. You know, this connection is pure and real. It's pure and real. So, know that you're not going crazy. The way you're feeling is quite normal. You may feel crazy, but it's a normal reaction. So relax, release and let go. Wow, look at this. Focus upon divine and perfect health. So Archangel Michael is saying when you're blocked, ghosted or ignored, it's because your health, your emotional health and your emotional state and your body and everything is suffering because you're not giving the light to yourself as well. So it's a time to focus on divine and perfect health. And wow, look at this one. Lean on God and the angels for support. So you're never alone. God and the angels are with you. You've got the power of creation with you. But the most important one is you need to forgive yourself because you've done nothing wrong. So breathe right now. Let's do 3 together, shall we? Let's do 3. So breathe in. And release. Breathe in. And release. Breathe in. And release. Namaste. I really felt that energy. I really felt that. If you can do that out in nature today, then it'll bring even more peace and even more healing in. But right now, I'd just love to tell you that you are loved, You are amazing. You are unique and special and protected. You are so protected on this journey. If you could see all the power of heaven supporting you, you'd never have another worry ever again. So when you're blocked, ignored or ghosted, see it in the right way. It's a stepping stone to bringing you closer to your twin, and connection is never lost. That connection will always be restored, and you can go and meet anyway on the 5D plane, and I'm going to talk about that in another video. So thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon.